Now, for 17 years, the Orange Prize has celebrated excellence, originality and accessibility in women's fiction. The winner gets a £30,000 cheque and a bronze statuette called a Bessie. And this year's winner has just been announced at London's Southbank, and our culture editor Matthew Cain is there. Matthew.
Yes, Kathy, the Orange is not only a very prestigious literary prize, it's the one which translates into the biggest sales for its authors. Now, last week it was announced that the Orange would be splitting from its long-term sponsor, the mobile phone company Orange. And one thing that this has allowed organisers of the prize to do is to step back and take stock of how things are going. One thing that's emerged in recent years is that the prize has been dominated by American writers. The last three winners rather, have all been American. And one of the reasons suggested for this is that in America there's much more of a culture of creative writing courses than there is here in the UK.
When the body had disappeared from the water and the bubbles were left holding its shape.
The MA in Creative Writing at the University of East Anglia was set up in 1970 and was the first of its kind in the UK. It's still one of the most prestigious and has produced alumni such as Ian McEwan, Tracy Chevalier and Kazuo Ishiguro.
My plan for this is for it to be a novella, about 15,000 words. It's set in the Jewish Museum in Berlin.
These current students are in the university's museum to take a workshop in historical fiction. They take it in turns to read out extracts from their work while the others comment.
I think we're putting the work under scrutiny, and we're getting students to think very intensively about their own work with other people who are also doing the same thing. So it's this incredible synergy that happens in a session when you see students who are themselves very ambitious for their own work, very demanding of each other, putting each other under pressure and putting work under pressure.
Students are also issued with a reading list of published work so they can think of their own writing within literary history.
They don't say, okay, here's how first-person narration works. They help you towards that, but this isn't it's not technical. It's not coming to learn a set of rules. This is art. This is a craft that they help you develop according to what you want to be.
In America, there are thousands of creative writing courses, and after a slow start, they're now becoming more popular here in the UK. There are nearly 100 on offer at university level, most of them set up during the last 10 years. But creative writing courses have come under criticism for producing novels that are homogenous and self-consciously literary. Whether or not this is true, they obviously produce the kind of fiction that appeals to judges of the Orange Prize. 5 of this year's 6 shortlisted authors have taken part in some sort of creative writing course. Anne Enright at the University of East Anglia. But she thinks she learnt to write after leaving the course.
And clearly I didn't learn about plot, structure or any of those things because I grow my books organically, like, mushrooms in a shed. I don't build them structurally. A lot of the work that comes off these courses is very competent, and sometimes you wonder whether there isn't an impulse to kind of fake it a little. I like to keep it as real as I can. And so I spent a lot of time unlearning the stuff I'm supposed to know about how to write a book. The full shortlist for this year's Orange Prize is Essie Idugian for Half-Blood Blues, Anne Enright for The Forgotten Waltz, Georgina Harding for Painter of Silence, Madeline Miller for The Song of Achilles, Cynthia Ozick for Foreign Bodies, and Anne Patchett for State of Wonder. And the winner of this year's Orange Prize, the last Orange Prize in its current guise, is Madeline Miller for The Song of Achilles. Madeline, congratulations. What does it mean to you to win this prize?
Well, thank you so much. It means the world to me. This is such an honor to be on the shortlist at all with these amazing, amazing other authors, incredible artists. I feel so humbled and grateful.
Your book retells the story of Achilles from Greek mythology. Why did you feel this was a story that you wanted to retell or reimagine?
Well, it was always a story. The story of Achilles was a story that had gripped me since I was a little girl. I loved his story. And in particular, I loved this incredibly gripping and tragic moment in the Iliad where he loses his closest companion, Patroclus. And that moment I just kept returning to because it was so intensely sad. But it was also a little mysterious because in the Iliad, you don't really know who Patroclus is. I mean, he shows up, he's kind of around in the background, he has a few scenes, but you don't really see why he means so much to Achilles. And so I sort of took that moment as my inspiration, and I wanted to kind of write towards it and tell the story of why he did mean so much to him.
And you tell the story as a gay relationship, or one that we'd call today a gay relationship. Have you encountered any resistance to this interpretation?
Well, there have certainly been some people that I think might have wished that I did not tell it that way, but this is a there's a long tradition of interpreting their relationship as romantic. And so, you know, Plato, Aeschylus also interpreted it that way. We have a fragment of a lost Aeschylus tragedy that has Patroclus dead and Achilles mourning over him, talking about their kisses. And so for me, I just felt like that's a solid interpretation, and it was how it read to me.
Madeline Miller, thank you very much. Madeline is the 4th American in 4 years to win the Orange Prize, and you can see an extract, you can see footage of her rather, reading an extract from the Song of Achilles on the Channel 4 News website.
Matthew, with Madeline Miller, the Orange Prize winner, thank you.